Picking right back up where we left off, I'm going to go ahead and straighten this up. Exposure down. I think that looks straight. It's always so hard to tell for me. Maybe other people struggle with this problem too. I feel like I don't know, I can't tell what's straight. Gonna go ahead and move on. Wow, this is a cool shot. That's so cute. All of these photos that we're moving on to, I edited one a little bit further back during the ceremony, selected them all, and just pasted so they kind of got a general idea or a general preset on them. And if I reset it, you can see the raw. So, pretty good. Her skin's a little yellow. I could go down here and change orange, the hue of orange just to red a little bit more, and that's good enough for me. I'll straighten this out, maybe, and then exposure down a touch. The skin tones are also getting a little interesting. I'm going to go ahead and try to add more red into them and maybe pull a little saturation out. Yeah, I think I like that. And just for the heck of it, let's go ahead and select the photo we just edited and just go all the way down here. And I'm going to go right about to here. And then just sync the settings. Exposure up on this one just a touch. I'm going to bring the highlights down. And then kick that exposure up a little bit more. Just try to get a little brighter. Shadows I might throw a little in there. And then one click down on exposure. I think I like that. Let's move on. Paste the settings from before. And then move on. I'm going to delete this shot. Exposure up just a bit. Skin tone's looking a little odd now. Let's just zoom in and take a look. I'm going to go to the saturation at orange and bring it up now. And maybe try to warm this shot up just a touch. Exposure up, highlights down, exposure up. Maybe down one click. I think I'm digging that, so let's copy those settings. This shot's much better than the last. So I think I'm going to delete this. Well, no, I'll keep it. I'll just keep it. Why not? Exposure up. Paste settings from before again. Go ahead and straighten it out. It's a little bit too much green in this shot for me. Maybe if we throw a little magenta in there. Let's go back to it real quick. I don't think that's straight. I think that's straight. Maybe. Let's do it. I'll try pasting my settings. The light's different now that we're shooting with the light hitting their face, so it's going to be a little bit more orange. So I can go down here and bring those oranges down again. And that's good for me. Copy those settings and move on. Paste. Straighten. Paste from before. And that takes the straightening in as well. So it's kind of nice if you have two shots that are, or three shots that are very similar. Just paste settings from before and make minor adjustments. Paste these settings. That looks great. Can't tell if her eyes are closed. I don't think they are. Her eyes might be, but I'm going to keep the shot. 7200 on this. This was at 200 millimeters. 1250 in ISO, 2.8 and 1/400th of a second. So you can tell it's starting to get a little dark. This is when the sun was starting to go down. I think it was almost pretty much down. So pasting my settings from before. It's a little too orange for me, so I'll go down here and bring the orange back just a touch. The image is a little flat, so maybe we'll put some shadows back in there. Cool it down just a touch. I think I like that. And let's move on. I'm going to copy those settings. And then we'll just paste from before. Right about there. bring exposure up. I'm okay if this is a little bright. Copy. Moving on. Paste my settings. Move on. Paste again. Exposure down just a touch. Right about there. I'm going to delete this shot. I don't really like it. Going to delete this. I'm going to black and white this. His face is a little funny, but let's see what's next actually real quick before. Yeah, I'll go ahead and delete this one. And then I want to paste my settings and just see what we got. Yeah, you know what? I kind of like it in color. Maybe if I just add a little bit of orange back into his skin tone. Yeah, I'm going to keep that. Exposure up. It's a little green. The whole scene's a little bit green. The hue of green, like I've mentioned before, can change a lot about the feel of a photo. Right now it was at +8. I'm just going to leave it there, +6. That's fine. But the shot's a little dull, and that could be because I'm pulling so much oranges out, specifically because my tone curve does a lot to the images already. So I'm going to try warming it up. And then that green, maybe I'll go a little bit more on the green side. Touch up on exposure. Let's see here. The hue of orange is the skin's just still a little bit on the green side like that, not that extreme. So if I go over to the left and just make it more red, I kind of like that. That looks more natural, I think, to my eye. I'll straighten it just a touch. I'm going to deselect what I've done so far. There's probably a quicker way to do this, and then I'll resync these settings. The light is continually changing because the sun is going down. So that's always kind of a bummer when you're shooting a ceremony. Basically from beginning to end, the light's so different. So you're gonna wrestle with different color balances and whatnot. I'm gonna delete this shot. It doesn't do much for me. This is her vows. Go ahead and do exposure up. I'm gonna go touch up on warmness. The later it gets, the more warm temperature I'm going to be pushing up. It's going to be getting cooler on the scene. So I need to combat that by pushing my temperature up. We'll copy those settings. Exposure down on this. Straighten out. Right there, I think. I'm going to try a little bit up on the temperature on this one as well. I don't think that's straight. Maybe that's straight. Okay, I'm okay with that. Copy those. Paste from before. Exposure up just a kick. I already edited basically the same shot right over here. And now that I look at it again, it's definitely not straight. That'll happen. I'm also going to get rid of some reds in the skin tone. And then just for sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and select these photos and just sync them real quick. I like this shot a lot more than I like this shot just because of her expression, so I'm going to delete this. Already edited. Straighten this. I'll go ahead and try to black and white this and see if I like it. Might as well have one black and white. It's not the best black and white, but we'll keep it. We'll just keep this one color too. Sometimes if I have two shots that are very similar, I'll just black and white one, keep one in color. Exposure up on this one. Straighten it up a little. Now he's doing his vowels. I think I have my settings copied, so I'm going to go ahead and paste. It's not very bright, so I'll bring that brightness up. And straighten it up more. Come on. I'm back on my 50 here, shooting at 1.2. ISO 640, 1/640th of a second. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark. Wouldn't be able to tell from photos, though. Copy these settings, move on. Straighten and paste. Touch up on exposure. And then I'll paste on this one as well. Exposure up. This is my wife's shot, I believe. She's shooting on 35 at 1.4. ISO 500, 1/400th of a second. Going to bring the highlights down a touch. Shadows. I'm going to make it a touch warmer. Straighten it. One thing you can do too, I've said this in another video, is if the green is really dark, you can grab the luminance of green. It looks like I already did. And throw that up, and that's basically just the brightness of any color. You can bring it up all the way, and it will add a little bit more life to your photo. And yeah, it looks good. I think I'll just leave it at where it was. We'll copy these settings. And we'll just go real quick over here to cat shot again and paste those settings now that we have them. Straighten it up. Touch up on exposure. I'm going to delete this shot. And we'll go back to where we left off, which was right here, I believe. And I already have these settings, so I'm going to go back a couple shots, copy, move on and paste. Looks pretty good. Paste them again. Touch down on exposure. Skin tone's a little odd. I'm going to try to go a little bit more red in it. Maybe touch up on warmness. Copy those. Go back one shot just to update this one. Looks like I changed my exposure, so I'm going to go ahead and bring exposure back up. Move on. Try pasting. I'm going to undo that. I liked how it looked before. Touch up on exposure. Add a little bit of warmness to that. Shadows, highlights, touch down on exposure. Skin tone is still a little odd. I'm trying to fight it now. Orange down here, hue, if we just go a little bit more red, I think I like that. So again, the color is changing so much, so I'm going to go ahead and reselect all these, sync them. Exposure up. Exposure up just a touch. I'm going to still warm this shot up now. Right to about there. I'm trying to keep them as consistent as I can. I'll go through this set again just to double check on colors and make some minor corrections before delivering. Resync all these photos that we selected. Updating with the current warmness. Exposure up. I don't think that's straight. So hard to tell. I'll leave it at that. Paste settings from before. I'm going to keep this shot, go back one, delete this. Exposure up. Exposure up a touch. Still a little on the cool side. I'm going to bring this temperature up. Now we're in the 10,000s. That looks better. And now that it's getting so dark, I'm going to try bringing the luminance of green back up too more. That's good. I'm going to go ahead and resync these shots now. Ones we have not edited yet. Move on. I'm okay with that. Straighten and move on. Straighten it. I'm going to delete this shot. Straighten it. Exposure up just a touch. Paste. Still looks like it's getting, let's just look at the raw real quick. Yeah, you can see it's getting real dark. So we're really trying to make it seem like it's not dark. Pushing this brightness up. I'm going to add a little magenta, which I don't normally do. No, I don't like what it looks like. We'll just leave it at that. Shadows up maybe a little. I'm going to resync. Move on. The moment before the kiss, I think. Or maybe communion. His face is a little funny. I'm going to delete this shot. I like that. That's fun. I'll keep it. Green's looking a little funny now. The hue of green, I'm going to move to the left a little. I like that. Now I'm going to resync. Kiss is coming up, I think. Something like that. Straighten it. Paste the settings from before. Oh, here's communion. I'm going to bring that exposure down a touch. I'm going to go to the hue of orange and move it to the left. You know what? I'm not liking the colors on this. I'm going to just black and white it for now. Copy from before. You know what? Now let's work on this one. We'll make it color. I just don't know why it looks so bad now. Skin tones. It looks like the green is really reflecting on their skin. Go to orange and push it to the left a little. Push up the saturation of orange. Throw some magenta in there. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Paste from before. Temperature up. Not digging. Black and white. When in doubt, black and white. I'm going to go back real quick just since we're here and delete this shot. That's funny. Skin tone, overall tone, really shifted from there to here. Settings are 1/250th of a second, ISO 640. Just double check that we're the same. I dropped it down just a little bit. Is it different down here? I just need to double check. No. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll work with it. Straighten this out. Touch down on exposure. Gonna grab the magenta, the tint, and throw some more magenta in there. Warm it up a touch. About there. We'll deselect what we've edited. Resync. Exposure up. Move on. Straighten it up just a little bit, and I'm going to push the exposure a little. Skin tone, I'm going to go a little bit more on the red side. There we go. Paste. Pass-through's getting real intense. I don't think that was very straight. My eyes deceive me. I'm going to straighten this just a little bit. Exposure up just a little. That's good. Going to deselect what we've edited. Sync again. A lot of syncing. I don't normally sync this much, but the temperature or the light changed so much that I had to. Exposure up a little. Here comes the kiss. Straighten. Paste. Paste again. Paste. Might as well just resync these, huh? Where are we at? Right here. Straighten that up a little. Moving on. That's good. A lot of kissing shots, but why not? Might as well keep them. They can enjoy and pick what they like. That didn't look straight. Exposure up. I'm going to grab some of the hue of orange and make it a touch warmer. Highlights, bring them down. Straighten it up. Move on. Exposure up. Now I'm going to add some more reds in the oranges as well. I'm going to start to warm it up again. And deselect what we've done. So weird, I know. It's a lot of changing in the settings. Here's cat shot. I'm going to bring exposure up. Highlights down. Recover a little bit of that dress. So much kissing. So much kissing. Copy from before. A little straighten. A little temperature down. Exposure up. Highlights down. A touch on this one again. Whoops. There we go. I'll go ahead and copy her settings just in case we have any other photos for her. Shot. Exposure down. Copy. All right, paste. I'm going to delete this. All right, just a little straighten. I still can't tell if that's straight. I think it is. This is funny. They had a good time going back down the aisle. Exposure up a little bit on this one. All right, that's it for ceremony. From here on out, looks like we go into the reception. He steals her in the next episode, takes her behind a bush. I follow for a couple shots where they have a cool little moment. Yeah. Thanks, guys, for watching. appreciate it so much. Your support means everything to me. Without you, I would not be here. I would not be doing these. Yeah, if you've not watched any of the other part of this series, definitely look below in the description. All the videos are here. You can, of course, go back and watch any. If you like these videos so far, please click the thumbs up. Leave a comment. They mean a lot. I love when people ask questions. I'm always happy to answer questions people have. Yeah, there's no dumb question you can have. If you're getting into this industry, I would love to help you. So thanks, guys. There's also a donate link below in the description if you'd like to donate to this series. Thank you so much. See you next time.